Let's go to our politics panel. Green Party co-leader Marama Davidson and the ACT leader David Seymour standing by. Good morning.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good to see you both this morning. Hey, we'll start with Air New Zealand. David, did you see that story out yesterday? We had an analyst saying actually the losses for the year, and we kind of were, this was forecast when we got the result for the half year, but $125 million potentially before tax for the whole year lends weight to your argument, doesn't it, to flick it off?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that argument, and to be fair, some of the point they made is that they're facing challenges such as rising fuel prices that are affecting airlines around the world. But I make the point, you look across the ditch, Qantas is doing much better, and I've just argued throughout this that Air New Zealand really needs to do one thing, take off and land safely and on time. They've tried to do many things. I see even this week they've now signed up to a green hydrogen project. They have a report out on modern slavery. They're trying to generate biofuels and experiment with electric planes. And the message that I've delivered, if anyone is listening to it, is look, just stick to your knitting and do the things that New Zealanders expect, because as taxpayers, we lose money every year. Every few years we seem to have to bail it out. We actually want them to perform.
Marama, you might actually agree with David. Why are we owning such a gas-guzzling, climate-killing beast like a plane?
I acknowledge that it is a strategic national asset, and we can include it in national assets that actually are for the public interest of New Zealanders. But right now, in this volatile market and time, is not the time to be short-term thinking. Privatising our public and national assets has never benefited ordinary people in New Zealand, but especially right now where we're reliant on a really shifty global world trade that we have no control over. I'm worried that some short-term thinking, short-term benefits and gains will come into that discussion.
Hey, David, what do you make of Luxon's presser the other day, or 2 days ago now? I think he said he misspoke. Just a bad day at the office, or was it a bit cringe, or what?
Well, look, I haven't seen the press conference. I've heard different people's opinions on it. All I'd say is that he said something that he didn't want to say. He said, look, I misspoke, I pulled it back. I think what is worrying for a lot of people is these are quite serious times, and a lot of people in the press gallery and the media have decided to make a circus out of someone saying something that they later said, no, I shouldn't have said that, came back. I mean, New Zealanders say things every day. They say, oh, that wasn't quite right, sorry, move on. I think if we're going to solve real problems in this country, we probably need a higher level of debate than the fixation you've seen from the press gallery.
Do you think that actually it doesn't matter because no one really cares? Like, Marama, does it actually matter what New Zealand thinks about the legality or otherwise of a war that's being fought in the Middle East?
So I'll firstly acknowledge that even as professional communicators, both David and I know that we don't always get every single word correct. So that is ordinary, absolutely. But Ryan, this is more about him not knowing where he stands and not having the moral courage and the leadership to just declare, as Prime Minister should, whether a war is illegal or not. And he has declared that for other wars. So we need to be showing consistency and principled leadership and be able to call out what we think is happening instead of just kowtowing to what the US says we should be doing, because that's in their interests, not in ours. So this is actually about him being able to hold his own ground as a Prime Minister, and that New Zealanders deserve some clarity and his conviction on what he can see is happening and call it out. It is an illegal war. He should simply say that. Or he should instead say, I do not believe in upholding international law. One way or the other. Let's have some honesty and clarity.
But you can't just say it's, I mean, you don't know it's an illegal, I mean, you're not the International Criminal Court, you know what I mean? Like, you can't say that. You can say
New Zealand,
it's a bit dodgy, you know, you might be able to be a bit more harder on it.
He hasn't even said that.
But also, look, it's hard, isn't it? Because then you've got the Iranian regime that's like killing its own people. So
Can't hear a word.
Oh, you're sorry.
And and the Greens have always called out that violence and oppressive killing of Iranian civilians, and we will continue to, as well as work with Iranians here. Absolutely, Ryan. Now that can be true while at the same time, as a smaller country, we rely on the world upholding international law. If we're going to start to be willy-nilly about who gets to make decisions without talking to any of their mates about who to invade just because we don't like their leader.
All right,
That
David, I'll let you.
and certainly us at risk.
I'll let you finish.
Well, there's an important point. First of all, what's illegal is usually decided by courts, and it's usually decided in full knowledge of the facts. These guys don't actually have that. It's not a time for political grandstanding and we are the world and we've got moral conviction. What we've actually said is in line with, and actually slightly, I guess, less, well, I mean, Australia and Canada have actually been supportive of the US actions, unlike us. What we've done is taken a measured and considered position based on who actually decides something is illegal and what facts do we know, rather than trying to politically grandstand. And by the way, the world is not waiting to hear what New Zealand thinks. What's important to New Zealand is, number one, the safety of New Zealanders, particularly the Irani community here, who are very worried about the reach of the regime. New Zealanders who are sheltering in place, and there's good advice on the MFAT website for those that are in the Middle East region. And as you've been discussing on our show, the rapid resumption of trade so that we don't see price spikes and ships full of New Zealand exports getting lost, because those things will have a dramatic impact on New Zealanders at home. Those are the things that we're focused on. No doubt, over many decades, people will debate the legality or otherwise.
Now, just to correct you, and I know we've had a discussion about misspeaking, but you did say our show there, David. This is definitely my show. But just wanted to clarify.
Did I was just missing a Y, that's all.
Hey, good to see you both this morning. Thanks so much for being with me as always. That's David Seymour and Marama at Parliament.